Hello. I bet you thought that I wasn't going to do anything today, but you would be wrong. Because at least in East Coast time, there is still about 20 minutes left in the day. Wife is asleep, child is asleep. This is why I am making you a ASMR episode today. This one will be quite short. In fact, let us switch straight to the front ahead cam. What even camera is what? Oh, that's this one. What is? Oh, that is the curtain behind me. It's like I thought something was. I thought it was cut off. No, I am merely a fool. All right, well, let's get you a good view of the desk then, because this is where we're going to be at all day. Sorry. Oh my lord. Sure. Yeah, so very short one today. Let me turn the iron on. Because, as mentioned, we have the TI99 4A keyboard here, and it has some cut traces on it, so let me just take a minute to clean those up before I go to bed. It shouldn't be too bad. There are a good number of cut traces. There are cut traces here and here and here. Yeah, there's a few of them, but I think it will be not too bad to fix up. Trey Dempsey says, "Whoa, holy late streams, Batman," and you would be correct. I just wanted to keep up the streak, you know? I almost thought about just watching TV and going to bed, but you know what? I can do 30, 45 minutes of futzing around with this thing. Okay, so anyway, let's get all of these crappy old wires off here, and we will make this keyboard good as new, or at least like work a bit somewhat. So yeah, that works well for a low noise everyone is asleep episode, because I don't think there's not much to narrate here. Look, it's a wire, and I'm taking it off now. Wow. Yeah, I know some people Thank you, Trey. I'm glad someone was around. Somehow, my audio interface got turned off, which I had just checked before this. Yes, so that will make this an extra interesting episode, being late at night and me talking quiet because wife and kid are sleeping, but I wanted to get a stream in because I've been sticking to a pretty good schedule. So, yeah. Let's see. 15 minutes. 15 minutes I was talking on mute. Oh boy. I said so much too. Which was funny because I kind of opened it by saying, I'm just here to solder, so I'm not sure there's much to say. Well, this is for me. Anyway, yes, late night stream because I just wanted to keep the groove going, not lose my momentum. That's pretty much it. So this is just going to be a casual fixing lines I cut on this board in a annoying ASMR fashion. Sorry if you can't stand that. I know some people just cannot stand that, and that is cool. You can stand what you can stand, I suppose, but I have to be quiet because sleeping people. And I'm sorry, I love them more than I love my viewers. I hope you understand. But yeah, I was telling a whole story for that 15 minutes of silence, in which I yanked this keyboard out of the TI99 4A, and subsequently I attached all those wires to it originally to control my Galaga board, which is not an actual Galaga board. It is a knockoff called Galag or Galag or something. And didn't have any controls. Was going to build a cabinet for it, and never built the cabinet for it either. So I ended up just having one of those cheap RGB scan converters that let me plug it into a VGA monitor, and then I had no controls, so I stole this keyboard and used the switches, and for whatever reason, because I needed the switches to operate independently, I did a lot of cutting of traces to allow me to use those keys in that way. However, I do believe I subsequently did some more stuff with this because, boy, I just went to town. There's a lot of damage here. Trey Dempsey says, I thought it was very chill. Yeah, it's one of those YouTube videos like the no narration tiny cooking I very much enjoy. I don't watch it often or really on purpose, but there is something satisfying about it. So maybe 15 minutes of silence isn't so bad. But yeah, also because probably didn't get recorded, I'm just going to go until I get bored, because as I was saying, this is to keep a commitment with myself, less than it is for entertainment. Not that, like, I don't know why I've stuck to streaming every single day. Maybe just because it feels good, like, sticking to something. And when I've got, like, visibility like this, it makes it a little bit more, like, it gives me a reason to stick to it, and I'm very bad at sticking to things, so that is probably the psychology behind that. But also, the thing is, if I stick to doing a little bit of this every day, I actually stand some chance of making some progress. Because, boy, if that's something that it didn't take me way too long in my life to learn, is that working smart is good. Working smart versus working hard is, like, they're both relatively important. But man, the most important thing is just consistency. You will never get a thing accomplished if you don't just keep it up. Let that be a lesson to all of us. Now that said, I don't know that I've accomplished all that much in my life. But what I have, I think I can chalk up to just, like, not stopping. It might not be perfect, but you will do something. He will certainly do something. Yeah, the good thing is, I think a lot of these cut lines over here are just like the same line being cut in multiple places, so like once I've bridged everything on that matrix line, it's kind of fine. And I don't have to do as many fixes as I thought. Except for this one, that's gonna have to fly all the goddamn way across the board. Let's see. I think you go here, where you are also broken. But that's fine, because it's coming from this side of the board, so I can skip that break too. Yeah, like this whole matrix line is just, like none of the keys are attached to it. Okay, let's see if I can remember what pin that was. Yeah, starting is, Trade MC says, how is the side project going? I assume you're referring to the freelancing. It's okay. My self-motivation is really crap. Again, hence why the regular streaming is, well, just that whole spiel. But makes freelance work kind of a little bit tough because, I mean, you know, fundamentally it boils down to like, I just say I'm lazy. And I mean, it's probably like an ADD thing too, in that, you know, unless things are on fire, it can wait forever as far as my brain is concerned. Like there's no, I don't want to say no importance given to it, but you know, it's just, it can always be done later. And fucking off is very important for right now, of course. Anyway, so that boils down the side gig is, it goes okay, but I'm a little bit worried that I'm not, I don't know, on it enough. So that's that. And then Trey had also said, because it's just me and Trey hanging out tonight, he said, reworking starting is the hardest for me. And yeah, 100%. Like, you know, per that procrastination thing. Yeah, I didn't realize until, like, I started thinking, oh, maybe you have ADHD. That, like, procrastination is a super ADHD thing. Because an ADHD mind requires so much stimulation. Which is why I am only into the silly things. Because that's what, like, suddenly stimulates my brain in the here and now. Okay, this one is a bit of a doodly-doo. I hope I'm getting this right. Yeah, I think literally not a single key is attached to this matrix line. I wonder why. I was doing that. Who frickin' knows? Maybe I'll just finish up this matrix line and call it a night. So y'all can enjoy it, because that would put me at about a half an hour. So y'all can enjoy a video that is half silence, half me just saying the same things that I said in the first half again, and me having a nice chat with Trey. Which, again, you know, besides the keeping myself honest part, and that it's just enjoyable to stream my work as I do it, you know, it's fun to have a hang. I very much enjoy that portion. Because, you know, my wife is my best friend in every way except for that she would most certainly not sit around with me and watch me solder things for a nonsense project. She would totally support me in it. She'd be fine with it, but, like, she'd think that's cool. but it would take a lot of talking to convince her that this is worth her time. This might be the last one on this line. But yeah, I don't know why it's on my mind, but just read the if you want to accomplish something, the trick is just making a habit of doing it, or just like being consistent about doing a little bit all the time or regularly. You can see exactly that work style on this project. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And not that I get a bajillion comments on my channel, but you know, I do get pretty regular comments about, you know, how do I get started, or like, how did you learn this stuff? And I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, granted, I've messed around with this kind of stuff for a long time, but it's all very hobbyist. You know, I am a professional programmer, and that's just because if you know programming, that's a real easy field to get hired into, as long as you can prove to somebody that you can do it. Like electronics engineering and design, not so much, as it turns out. But I'm also not nearly as good at that stuff anyway. But yeah, it's the... And as in my day job, I am a team lead. And that's a thing that I have to constantly remind my juniors and the people that I'm trying to, you know, kind of train up, is like, especially if you're working a problem, is just keep working on the problem, you know, is kind of just be obstinate with it, because if you keep at it long enough, almost everything has some kind of solution. Now, of course, you should ask for help when you need it. That's also another problem. Another mistake a lot of people make is thinking that, not, you know, being afraid that you don't know what you're doing, and that other people will see that you don't know what you're doing, and therefore, you know, you'll get fired or whatever for not knowing what you're doing. That is the opposite of the case. You should, if it is faster for you to get an answer by asking somebody rather than digging to find it out yourself, that will be good for everyone 100% of the time. But if you don't, you know, if the person isn't around to give those answers and you just know that, or nobody knows, and there's just a thing where you need to solve a problem, you will probably solve it if you just keep hammering at it. Not like you have to keep changing what you're doing and keep looking at it from different angles and whatnot, but you will eventually get there. And that's the entirety of this project, because I don't know how an NES works. I did not know anything about NES hardware before I started this. Back to Trey. I've been asking myself, why am I procrastinating? What do I gain? What am I losing? Why not just do it? Yeah, no. Trust me. I completely understand, because like, when you're procrastinating, you know that that's the worst choice that you can be making. The better choice is to be, you know, doing the thing, whatever the thing is. Obviously, that's the better thing. You know that you will feel, like, from experience, that you will feel better when you've done it. It's just obviously the right, best choice for everything. It'll make you feel better. Other people will be happy with you. The work will be done. It's all positive. And yeah, that's why procrastination is insane, because you know all of that. You know it. You know it very deeply. You know it well, especially if you procrastinate a lot. You know all of this. You've been through it a billion times, but you still do it. And that's what makes it drive one quite insane. That's why I've been trying to give myself a little bit more, I don't know, understanding and lenience on that, because I think that's all you can do. And the more you accept yourself, and don't freak out about when you're having trouble, you know, it gives you more mental energy for when to manage to do the thing, as opposed to just being worried about how you're crap all the time or a bad person or whatnot. Now that isn't a perfect solution, because I do that and I am still a really bad procrastinator, but I've found that it helps. Yeah, compassion for yourself. It's a classic therapy thing, but it's true. I don't know what you were saying that in reference to, Trey. It works sometimes, but that describes all of my projects. So yes, it does. I was just examining to see if that was the end of that trace, and I think it is. So, do I keep going? What time is it? Yeah, it is 1 minute over 30 minutes. So, like I said, I hope people see how short this is and see the dead audio at the beginning and aren't too put out by the fact that, you know, that they understand that it's a short impromptu video. And I hope you enjoyed kind of getting kickstarted on this, because look, that's what, six less wires that I have to wire tomorrow. And then reminder, for anybody else who is viewing this, I think last time I might have said I'll be back Monday the 19th. That is not true, because that's next Monday. I'll be back the Monday after that. But tomorrow will still be pretty full, because I actually, speaking of procrastination, I still have things to do to wrap up for my day job, even though I am technically off tomorrow. And I have freelance stuff that I should do, and a meeting with the freelance people, and streaming. And I'm also looking after the baby tomorrow, so we will see how far we get, but at least hopefully I can get the keyboard, I don't know, pieced back together. Maybe start doing some of the driver circuitry. But anyway, thank you for hanging out with me, Trey. And I don't know if there was anybody else watching, but of course, thank you for tuning in. And I will see you for a more substantial resumption of this work in the AM. Or maybe the PM, but sometime tomorrow. All right, see ya. Love ya.